Hello, B&B members, Skyside here. You know, it's funny how important a place like badgerandblade.com can be, and you never really realize it until something happens. And you really see the metal that people are made of and the compassion that people have on this site. Most people would say that this is just another internet forum, but I would strongly disagree. We did lose a member this week, Bryant, better known as Alan to his friends, who was a staple in the Brownleaf forum, did pass away tragically in a car accident on Tuesday, the 24th. He is survived by his wife, Heather, and their children. He was a veteran, and the amazing part about this is that if you go to the Brownleaf section, you will see a post from his wife on how he talked about the people and the forum, Badger and Blade. And then also what really will jerk the tears from your face is that he made a post some time ago, not too long ago actually, about his final hike with his father. That's located in the Great Outdoors Forum, and just look for the title, A Final Hike with Pops. And it was about his hike because his dad's health was failing as well, and just a recap of the final hike he had with his dad and how much it meant to him. So we are truly sorry. Our condolences to Heather, the kids, and their family. And if you'd please join us in just thinking about them and keeping Bryant and his his family in your prayers. So, Bryant, rest in peace and Godspeed. From the high desert southwest and an indiscreet shave den located in the deep recesses of Ouch's basement, broadcasting north from McMurdo Sound to Ice Station Zebra, and east and west across all time zones to our members throughout the world. This is Badger and Blade Radio. Good evening, and happy Halloween from Badger and Blade Radio. Your normal host, Skyside, Dave, has taken the evening off to spend with the ghosts and goblins. However, he has asked me to guest host for him. I am the brother of the famous Count Vladislaus Tepes Dracula, but you can call me Harry. Please do not ask why, just Harry. Now I must say that this is a very scary studio. This is the basement of Ouch, or the Ouches as you may know. And the scary part about this is there is meat of all different ages hanging from the ceiling. So I have to hand it to Skyside to be able to sit here week after week in the piles of meat. But hey, you do what you have to do. So on tonight's episode, our very special Halloween show, we will have news and events around badgerandblade.com, including a video of the upcoming Reindeer and Sleigh and the sign-ups for the Secret Santa on Badger and Blade. But that is for Christmas, and that fat man's holiday is not here yet. We will also have our mail call, which has a post and a poll of how you like Halloween, including some ghostly items and comments and stories. And finally, we will have some interviews from the Halloween convention, where my brother Dracula and some other characters are. I wasn't invited because I don't have a cool name. So all this and much, much more on the special Halloween edition of B&B Radio. We will be right back. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, I do enjoy an evening with a little light entertainment. But when your video heads get dirty, you lose your picture. Not a pretty sight. Happily, this new Polaroid video cassette will help you. It actually cleans your heads as it plays, so dirty heads needn't haunt you. New Polaroid video cassettes. Get the picture?
Welcome back to Badger and Blade Radio. We thank you so much for spending your spooky Halloween evening with us. We also hope that your little ghosts and goblins had a wonderful time trick-or-treating and you got everything that you deserved. And now, our mail call segment. This is something that was delivered this time by bat. Yes, by a bat. Now, we did have a poll question this week, and it was all about Halloween. And the questions were, I love Halloween, but I just give out candy. I hate Halloween and spend November 1 cleaning the toilet paper off of my house. Number 3, I go Halloween crazy. Decorations, parties, candy, and Nightmare Before Christmas plays on the television over and over again. I take the kids out, but that's about it. I dress up on B&B Halloween night, but nobody knows because we are in an internet forum. And finally, I like Halloween, but not much happens around our house. So the big winner was, unfortunately, nothing happens around the house. As kids get older, the neighborhoods become more and more quiet. People are going to parties, or they're going to safe places with their kids, and that was 44% of our poll. Next was I love Halloween, but just give out candy. That had 5 votes at 27.8%. And in third place, we have some real troopers here that go Halloween crazy at 22.2%. Then at 5%, there was I just take the kids out, and I love Halloween, but just give out candy. So it was a very, very good poll, and we thank you very much. And now for our mail call from Rock Viper, one of the moderators here at Badger and Blade. He loves Halloween, but the she who must be obeyed, that's the wife for those of you that are not lingo crazy on Badger and Blade, hates it. He does not even get out to put out the shrunken heads or even play the tubular bells that night. We are so sorry for you, Rock Viper, but maybe next year. And from Phil Sandstone, I really enjoy sharing in the fun and excitement that my 2 grandkids get to have on Halloween. My 7.5-year-old granddaughter loves getting dressed up and going out trick-or-treating with her best friend. And my 2.5-year-old grandson is starting to get in on the action now. That is what makes Halloween so special for me. And Phil, we love to see the little ghosts and goblins and princesses come out on our night. And from Doc Holiday, 0831, better known as TJ, once many years ago, my girlfriend, at the time now my wife, and myself took my baby brother to see the movie 13 Ghosts. The whole night we had been messing with his mental state by telling him that ghosts were real, which they are, by the way, and the such. On the way home we decided to spotlight some deer and some bear. We passed an old cemetery. In the middle of the several acres of farmland, I shined the spotlight. That light reflected off of something in the cemetery, and my baby brother believes that he had seen a ghost. He has still not forgiven me for that evening. Was it a ghost? We will never know. And from Robbie Boxers, a first-time poster here in the mail call, we have found something on one of the auction sites, a haunted Gillette Tech razor. Now, you will be seeing some pictures as I read this, and this is out of Corona, California, and it is from a popular auction site that a Gillette Tech is supposedly haunted and had to be kept in a jar sealed in a religious case. It explains, This safety razor is from the estate of a deceased individual whose name was Clyde. This razor must be kept in the enclosure, in the sealed bottle, locked inside it. Now this case is a crucifix case. The current owner risks serious injury and harm to himself by removing the razor to take these pictures. If not kept in the crucifix locking case, a failed exorcism was attempted on this razor several years ago, but the razor is known that if you take it out, it will shoot across your bathroom counter and break household items. This auction is for the razor, the bottle containing it, and the crucifix locking case. The razor has caused quite a bit of damage to this person's home before it was secured in the pictured enclosure. Clyde, and apparently the entity, are housed within the razor, are very, very active. This safety razor is from the estate of a deceased individual. Now, after several requests for further information, the explanation of this and the story of Clyde's demise. Clyde met his demise at the age of 13 years ago, after an accident at a local Halloween community event. Clyde barely made it home, hurt when he passed away in his bathroom. It is unknown if he sought medical attention. Clyde was found frozen in front of his mirror going with the grain with this Gillette Tech in his hand. It was said that evil laughing could be heard coming from the razor. Reports also indicate although this happened, he was BBS. Now, please understand, this story has been altered to protect the innocent and make it less adult-themed. This razor can be yours for $19.99, including the razor, the jar, the crucifix case, and all of the attached spirits. Very, very scary, very, very interesting. And from KJ, the Vez 2, take a look at his recent zombie pictures. This is what happens when you don't have your Avon aftershaves and are still working on your shave technique. This was from a lot of years ago, and the Vez 2 has become a perfectionist in his technique now. Actually, it was for an event at Eglin Air Force Base a few years ago. KJ, that is very, very good makeup. Very, very good. The mouth and wounds were just built with toilet paper, liquid latex, and plastic fingernails. Very good job. And from the mind of C. Vargo, I am a Grinch when it comes to Halloween. I hate it. Just a ploy to spend money on junk. But guess what? My 3-year-old is in the spirit this year, so we had to get some decorations, and of course I will take him trick-or-treating. I mean, how else can I raid his bag for the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups that I like so much? We do buy candy, and we do hand it out. We live in a pretty young neighborhood. We get trick-or-treaters from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. constantly with no breaks. My philosophy, whatever comes first, run out of candy or 9 p.m., the lights go off. But of all the holidays, I rank Halloween at the bottom. Bah humbug. Well, everybody, if you're going to toilet paper one house this year, this may be the one to do it. We have a real anti-Halloweeny at that place. Thank you, Chad, for bringing that. Now from Gaggy, from across the pond. Nothing much happens here in the Eastern Orthodox Church. We don't have it. But I like it, especially the movie theme. As for the scary November story, there was a mega shopping mall that opened back in 2007. My girlfriend made me go, and I was terrified. And from Seoul, she loves Halloween. Unfortunately, no children come around her area. She lives in a fairly residential neighborhood with a ton of kids, which confuses her. I sincerely think perhaps it's less safe to let your kids wander in costumes late at night. At least that's what the parents are thinking. Either way, I wanted to give out my candy, and I couldn't. And I've been sad ever since. Well, so we have talked to the right people, and we're hoping that next Halloween, things are better for you. And from KJ, a sad note, he will be moving soon to a very, very rural area, and he won't get to give out the tricks or treats anymore. Well, that's it for our mail call section. We'll be right back right after this.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Whoa, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza. Ah!
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. guys, you gotta go! I want to go to Pizza Hut now!
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
Welcome back to our Halloween special. Unfortunately, we have some bad news. If you've been following Skyside, he has been having a raccoon problem at his house. Well, unfortunately, the satellite feed to Transylvania was chewed up by those little varmints. So, what we are going to have to do is give you an encore presentation of the interviews at Transylvania last year. Please enjoy. We are now going to go live to the Hotel Transylvania in Europe, where our field reporter Sidekick is preparing for her interview of Dracula, the Wolfman, and the Mummy. How are you this evening, Sharon, on this wonderful, dreary Halloween night?
Well, I'm doing just wonderful, Dave. Thank you for this first assignment, and I have to say that I got in my hotel room and found instant coffee. Really, instant coffee? You know. Okay, whatever. That's a conversation for later, but I'm sitting here in the lobby, folks. Welcome to the Halloween edition. I'm sitting in the lobby of the Hotel Transylvania. There is a huge fire, thankfully, because it is raining and cold and dreary. So, I see Dracula is floating on in here. Welcome, Mr. Dracula.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I need to make a small correction, and I apologize to do this on the air, but I need you to say it with me. Dracula.
Dracula.
No, not Dracula. Dracula.
Dracula.
See, doesn't that sound so much better than Dracula?
Yes,
Dracula. Remember, I am Dracula. I am the Prince of Darkness.
My apologies. But actually, I always heard of you referred to as Vlad the Impaler.
Blah, blah, blah. Vlad the Impaler. But I must say one thing first. You know, I did not have lunch, and I'm looking at your veins, and they're going bumpity, bumpity,
I'm
bumpity.
noticing that.
I apologize if I stare at your neck.
Okay, I'm pulling up my collar
Okay,
now.
that would be best for you.
Speaking of collars, I have to say you're dressed really
Thank
well.
you very much. But back to the hack, Vlad the Impaler. The true story is not what you see in Hollywood. What it is I went on vacation, and I come back, and my beautiful ornate fence around my castle is now shish kebabs, villagers, blood everywhere.
Ew.
And he dresses like a hat with that stupid V hat he wears.
You're right.
Vlad the Impaler was nowhere near Dracula. I'm an important person.
You're right, absolutely not. You are. You look very nicely dressed, and I notice you're also really very well shaven. You have. You just look so sharp.
Well, as the Prince of Darkness, I need to have a tuxedo, and I need to have my cape with the red silk lining, and my Alden shoes. I must look the part, and I have this really cool medallion as well.
That's beautiful.
And the way I've learned to shave by being a member of Badger and Blade.
I was going to say, how long did it take you to learn to shave?
Quite a while. I've been around for almost 700 years. But I must say one thing, and I don't know why Badger and Blade Radio chose these. The Hotel Transylvania is not what it used to be. It doesn't look as good.
How's that?
It's dingy.
What would you change?
Everything. This looks cheaper than a Holiday Inn in Poughkeepsie. But anyhow, you were asking me about my shave.
Okay, please.
I learned to shave on Badger and Blade because, as you know, as the undead, if I look into a mirror, I see nothing. However, I had a plan. I got some shave soap, I squirreled it up, and I put it on my face, and I grabbed my razor, and I looked into the mirror, and it scared me.
Why's that?
Because all I saw was a big white puffy cloud and a razor floating in the air.
Oh my gosh.
And believe me, I don't have to worry about cuts because I don't bleed, but it was scary. But the gentleman at Badger and Blade taught me as a new member on how to get a BBS shave every single day.
That's wonderful.
It's wonderful. I love it. Don't I look good?
You look awesome.
I can see your veins again.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to push this up. So anyways, did you have, we need to cut the interview short because the Wolfman, I see him coming in
not
the
him.
lobby over here.
Not him.
Is there anything you'd like to say before we close?
Yes, I would like to wish everybody at Badger and Blade a very happy Halloween. And while you're out trick-or-treating or going to one of your parties, if you look up and see a bat, do not swat it. It could be me.
Are you okay?
Oh, excuse me. I had an Italian for lunch and I have a clot.
Ew.
But I want to thank you, Sharon, and I want to thank Badger and Blade Radio for doing this interview so I could set the record straight.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And I see the Wolfman coming in. So.
Oh, hello, furball.
Welcome. Okay, have a sit.
What'd you do that for?
I needed you. What?
Why did you hit me?
You were going to start biting him.
I don't like him.
I know. Is there bad blood?
Well, you're very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bad blood between me and old Fang Face over there. He gets all the accolades. Oh, Dracula this, Dracula that. Well, hey, guess what? You're Dracula to me, you mook. Anyway, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking like this. I'm sorry.
Actually, talking like that, I detect a New York accent. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm from New York. What about it?
I always thought that werewolves were from London. Well, werewolves from London.
Once again, Hollywood and all the songs and everything else. No, I'm from Flatbush in Brooklyn.
Okay, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, from the greatest city in the world, New York.
Were you born a werewolf?
No. I worked in a factory down in the fabric district, and it's kind of an embarrassing story because you guys think that I got bit in the moors of London, and when the full moon comes out, I go out and attack and make more little werewolves. Well, that's not really what happened.
What happened?
Well, it's rather embarrassing. Well, New York isn't like it used to be. Right now, you can go down on West 42nd Street. In fact, you can't even drive a car down there anymore. And you can get a cappuccino, buy a set of sneakers. But in the old days, it was dark, it was dreary, and I was walking home. I had some business to do with this guy to do this thing in Manhattan, and I was a little hungry. And there's this great Puerto Rican restaurant in Hell's Kitchen, and I was going down there to get some food, and there was a shortcut through an alley.
Okay.
Well, as I went down through the alley, I don't remember a lot, but I do remember this. I was attacked by a gang of Pekingese and a damn beagle. It's not funny. It's not funny because what Hollywood thinks of what really happened is a lot more romantic than getting attacked by a bunch of angle biters and a beagle.
You don't look like a Pekingese, at least.
No, but they're mean. Don't let them fool you. Those little puffballs will eat your face off.
I guess, but you know what? I don't see any scars on you. How do you keep your...
Well, I have a lot of fur.
Yeah, and it's shiny. How do you keep it looking so good?
Well, after I became a werewolf, I looked like a sheepdog, and I had to figure out a way to get that look. I mean, my goal had always been to look like the real Wolfman from a long time ago, and I looked terrible. I mean, I had mange and I was matted, and basically I looked like somebody's rug in their bathroom. So what I did is I found this place called Badger and Blade, and I found out that one of the forums they have there is body and skincare.
Okay.
And so I learned from those guys there, and now I've got this wonderful shampoo, and I got this wonderful conditioner. I comb my hair 150 strokes every night, and I actually put on pomade.
Homemade.
No, pomade. Say it.
Homemade.
Pomade.
Pomade?
Pomade.
Homemade pomade?
No, it's called it's
pomade. Okay.
Yeah, the hair stuff you put in.
Okay.
So I'm always shiny.
Really good.
I'm always shiny and slick because
great.
I do get a lot of blood on my fur because a lot of times I can't control what I'm doing, and it gets kind of crazy. And, stuff like that happens to me.
Thank you so much for washing up to come in and talk
with us.
Well,
of course. Hey, did old Fangface tell you this hotel has really gone in the dumps?
Okay, yes. Let's get back to...
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm gonna ask you if you have any final parting words for the members of Badger and Blade before you go.
Yeah, I'd like to wish all of them a very, very happy Halloween. If they have kids, make sure your kids are safe. And also, if you do happen to come across a werewolf, just say hi. They're not always mean. And if you're in New York, watch out for those gangs of Pekingese and those damn beagles because they'll get you. And it's bad stuff. And also, don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Okay, thank you so much. And we're going to let you go, and we're going to have the mummy come in here in a minute. So
Oh,
go
Mr.
ahead
Bandage
and,
Guy. Mr. Bandages.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
heading this way now. And
All right, thank you.
I want to apologize to all the sheepdog out there.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Here comes the mummy. Welcome. Is it Mr. Mummy? Wait, oh, you look like you're having some difficulty with your... Let me just pull the bandage down there.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I'm free. I can speak and I can talk to everybody again. It's so wonderful.
Oh my gosh, I never expected that accent or voice from you.
What?
I always thought it would be like very Egyptian.
Oh, I am Egyptian, but I can be a flamboyant Egyptian, can I not?
Yes, you are. Certainly. Yes,
Listen,
you may.
honey, the way you're dressed, I can be this way.
Yes, you... Why are you dressed like that? What's with the bandages? Are you...
It's an embarrassing story. If you know the history of the Egyptians, 4,000 years I've been dressed in these rags because I was a brand new shaver long ago, and we didn't have a lot of the shave equipment like you see now, and I was learning how to shave. And I would nick myself, and I would cut myself. Well, that young upstart, King Tut, had to have everything so perfect. And so I bled a little on his floors.
Oh, he was a little OCD.
Very OCD. He had to have his perfect little tail and his tassel, and he had to have everything perfectly clean all the time. So unfortunately, I bled on his floor a few times. He got upset and wrapped me in these bandages for eternity.
Oh my gosh. So what would you do if you took the bandages off?
Well, honey, you know, I'm 4,000 years old. A lot of the parts aren't exactly where they used to be. So I have to keep this up because other than that, you've heard the Blob? That's exactly what would happen to me, honey.
Oh, yes, I remember that movie. That was such a good movie.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm not as svelte as I used to be.
Well, at least you're all put together here.
Well, that's thanks to the Ace Bandage Company.
Is there anything you want to say to the people at Badger
Oh,
and Blade?
yes. I love the gentlemen at Badger and Blade. They are such wonderful people. They're welcoming to everybody all the time. It's the best place on the internet. And I also want to wish them a very, very happy Halloween and thank Badger and Blade Radio for doing this interview with the icons of the horror movies and the icons of Halloween. And thank you so much for removing these bandages. Now I can be free and I can talk to anybody I want.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to be wrapping up. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say wrap up.
That wasn't very nice, honey. I got 13 yards of fabric on me, and you have to say wrap up? That's not very nice.
Well, I apologize for that, but I want to thank you so much for coming in tonight, and I want to thank all of the members of Badger and Blade for joining us and wish you all a very happy Halloween, and we're going to be back with David in just a moment.
Good night.
Bye.
Elvira here, back with a helping hand for Halloween. Coors Light, it's the official beer of Halloween, and just what an adult party needs to be a howling success. What? You don't believe me? What do you need, like a sign from above?
Be sure to visit this display wherever you buy Coors Light.
And it's just perfect for when friends drop in. See what I mean?
Isn't it funny how on Halloween we always have wind and rain and screaming and bats and howling wolves? Very strange. Well, we are going to do some news and events around... Oh, look who is back. Hello, Skyside.
Hello, Harry. How you doing?
Did you have fun going out and trick-or-treating?
Yes, I had a great time.
Well, now that you are here, would you like to do the news and events for our special Halloween show?
Sure, I would love to. That way it'll give you a break.
So, we are going to turn it back over to your host, Skyside, for the news and events while I take a little break and have a little bit of an adult beverage. So I'll be back a little bit later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for spending your Halloween with Badger and Blade Radio and our little fun little show that we do every year. And now for some news and events for some of the upcoming things coming in November. In the Great Southern Land Forum, our Australian mates, the Gillette Pass-Around is still underway, so if you want to get involved in that, please sign up. In the cafe, there's an interesting poll and discussion about pumpkin-flavored coffee, so you can take a look at that. And also, the Tale of the Dark Roast is all located over in the cafe. We'd like to thank all the donors, bidders, purchasers, and auction team members for this year's Sue Moore Memorial Auction. It turned out to be a fantastic auction, and unfortunately we don't have a recap for you for this show, but we're hoping to have that for you by the show on November 15th. And so from everybody on the B&B team, we'd like to thank you. Steve Argo's got the November soap theme up in the soap form, so please make sure you go sign up for that, and it is the best of the best. And finally, for Halloween, this is very appropriate, one of our moderators, Rock Viper, has started a thread called November. Now, this is a thread where you shave with the most ghastly, yucky, and disgusting items in your den. Now, he is impressed that if he can get more than one person to sign up, he will be happy. So please head on over to the GSD, the General Shave Discussion Forum, to see what that is all about. Also, if you look at the bottom of the page, you will see a ticker of all the different items that are happening in the various forums around badgerandblade.com. And then finally, in our news and events section, we have a very special event that the thread has already started for. It happens every year, and that's right, it's called the Reindeer Bingle, Reindeer and Sleigh, I should say. Now, this is basically a secret Santa for all the members here at badgerandblade.com. We've got a little bit of a video that we'll show you in just a few minutes, but head on over to the General Shave Discussion Forum, and you will get a chance to take a look at how to get signed up and how to be involved in one of the funnest things that happens between November and December, and to make another member's Christmas very, very special. And then finally, some updates from our vendor advertisers. From Bull Goose Shaving, just released is a more aggressive version of the Asylum Evolution, and they have a few things on the way as well. The Paradigm is finally going to be here in stainless steel, and it's made from 17.4 stainless steel and treated to make it scratch-proof. Should arrive in a few weeks. And the Sapafio Varicino Flying Mango Soap that everybody loves so much should be arriving sometime in November. And from Above the Tie Razors and more, we really want you to take a look at the Windsor Razor. It comes in two different models. It comes in the polished 303 stainless and the Trillium Copper 110. Now, it's got better machining and finish, and the copper is coated with a marine-grade clear coat to keep the razor nice and coppery shiny all the time. The Windsor is also available in a mixed metal version as well. The blade exposure has been reduced to provide a new shave experience. And also, the Gem-type razor with the G1 and its revised base plate, a little bit more aggressive, is in stock. It would make a nice addition to anyone who enjoys SE shaving. So for those of you folks that are signing up for the Reindeer and Sleigh, there's a bunch of stuff right here that would make any member happy. So now, take a look at our teaser for the 2017 Bingo Reindeer and Sleigh, and Harry will be right back right after that. Welcome back to the show, everybody, and we'd like to thank Skyside for doing the news and events for this edition of Badger and Blade Radio. I feel so much better after that nice break. A highball full of blood and soda is so nice and gets you all jazzed up again. However, I did note that it is almost sunrise, so we must end the show now. We'd like to thank the vendors and everyone that was involved in this year's Sue Moore Memorial Auction. We hope to have an update by November 15th on how we did. Don't forget once again to get signed up for the Bingle Reindeer and Sleigh gift exchange this year. It is located in the general shave discussion and you can find out all the information you need. As always, we would like to thank the moderators, the stewards, for each and all the hard work they do each and every day. We'd like to thank the admins and the owners for bringing us Badger and Blade even on Halloween. And of course, we'd like to thank you, the members, and all the veins in your neck. No, I didn't mean that. We'd like to thank you for being a part of Badger and Blade. Without you, and you are the lifeblood of BadgerandBlade.com. We'd also like to thank Count Dracula, Wolfie, and the Ghost for being in an interview with us in Transylvania. Dave will be back on the 15th, so please join him for regular programming. I have been your host, Harry Dracula. Please be safe and have a happy Halloween.
Ha 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 ha!